Hello everyone, hope you all are doing well. Myself Deeptito Chatterjee. So now I am an intern in data science and business analytics in the Spark Foundation of January 2021 batch. So my first task is prediction using supervised machine learning. So the query was to predict the percentage of score of a student who studies 9.25 hours per day using the given dataset. So let's start. First, we import all the required libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and so on. After that, we read the dataset from the web page and let's check the shape of the data. We have 25 rows and 2 columns in our dataset, and through the describe function we can calculate the summary statistics of our dataset. Through the info we can see we have 25 entries in our dataset and 2 columns named hours and scores. Hours in float and scores is in integer. Let's check for the missing values in our dataset. So we can see that there is no missing values. Hours is 0 and scores is 0. That means we don't have any missing values in our dataset. So data cleaning is not required. Now let's visualize our dataset by scatter plot. So it is our scatter plot, hours versus scores. So from this graph it is clear that hours and scores have positive linear relationship. So now we can apply the linear regression model to predict our required query. So now create the linear model. So we are dividing the 2 columns in 2 datas, x and y. Now we are splitting the data set in train and test data. So now here I am using 80% of the dataset in the train dataset and rest in the test dataset. So now let's feed the linear regression model, and our model intercept is 1.75 and coefficient of the independent variable is 9.74. So now let's visualize our regression line. So the red it is our regression line and the greens are the scores. So now prediction using our model. Y predict is our predicted value, and let's see in the tabular representation. Here actual is our y test dataset and predicted is our y predict. That means if our actual value is 95, using our model it can predict it 88, and if it is 17 our model will predict it 12. So that means it is pretty good model. So now let's check our model accuracy using the training dataset and the testing dataset. So using training dataset, so we have 95% accuracy, and using testing dataset we have 94.66 accuracy. It's good accuracy actually. So now let's predict our query. So our query was to predict the percentage of score of a student who studies 9.25 hour per day. So let's so our query is 9.25 and our predicted score will be 91.85% using our linear regression model. So now let's check for the error and the accuracy. So we are using mean absolute error and mean squared error. So we have about 6.45% error in our model, and our R2 score, that means our accuracy, is 94.66. So it's a pretty good model that we have fitted. So now let's come to comment section. So my comment is, if a student studies for 9.25 hour per day, so from our given dataset we can predict that the student is expected to score approximately 91.85%. So that is my final comment on my task. So thank you the Spark Foundation for giving me this an opportunity to explore more in data science field. Thank you so much everyone.